At about 600 BC, a powerful king from a faraway land called Babylon saw that he could exploit these prosperous Jews. They captured them and brought them back to Babylon as slaves. The Jews prospered in Babylon, and many of their great-great-grandchildren were able to eventually buy their freedom and return back to Judea. In their absence, the land had wasted, but with their united strength, guided by their powerful God, they were able to make the land prosperous again. Seeing their land was at the crossroads of the empire surrounding it, some Jews exploited this opportunity and became middlemen in all trade that passed through. A few Jews, seeing they could exploit this, became money men. Controlling money made them very rich, and their wealth made them greedier and more arrogant. They claimed exclusive right to their powerful God, which many wanted. As it was expensive to convert, and males had to have their penis mutilated, very few did. By 0 AD, money was used as a means of exchanging anything of value. The more valuable a product or service, the more money was needed to buy them. Greed drove people to hoard more and more money, and the rich kept getting richer and the poor kept getting poorer. Desperation caused men to rob and steal. At this time, a poor but generous Jew was born, called Jesus, who had very much compassion for his fellow man. He saw too much greed in his fellow Jews and too much arrogance. Listening to his intuition and using his wisdom, he tried to unite all people, Jews and non-Jews. While Jews jealously guarded their God as only theirs, this rebel Jew, Jesus, offered it to everyone for free and without any mutilation. While Jews had eye for eye, tooth for tooth morals, the rebel Jews insisted that it is better to get 2 slaps than to lose 2 eyes. As this was so radical to other Jews, people following this rebel were called Christians. Their belief was called Christianity. Jesus' rebellion caused the Jews to be divided, and soon after, they were not powerful enough to protect themselves. They were conquered and dispersed all over the world. Jesus offered man a new morality for uniting all of man with nature, so that he may live more and more in peace in an ever-shrinking world. He taught we must love nature, who provides for all people, and we must love all her people, even if they are our enemies. He claimed that if we follow his message, we will one day find an everlasting peace. He warned and prophesied that if we do not follow his message of salvation, the world would end up just like it actually did. Over a few centuries, Christians proved to be meek and willing to suffer. They were motivated by faith and hope for an ever-eternal life. One greedy and clever king of a faraway empire called Rome saw that Christians were very easily exploitable and wanted his subjects to be Christians. Within a few centuries, there was a brutal campaign to convert everyone to the morals as followed by Christians. For the next 7,000 years, humanity would have its ups and downs. Humanity was like an adolescent. There were good, peaceful times with abundance and growth, and there were challenging and difficult times with war and pestilence. Civilizations came and went. Morality continually changed. At about 600 AD, an inspired man called Mohammad was born in a part of the world where the people were very divided. They were neither Jews nor Christians. He needed his people to be as united as the Jews and as meek as the Christians. So he listened to his intuition and was able to unite his people under the same God that both Jews and Christians followed. They called their belief Islam, and people called them Muslims. They prospered and blossomed to a great civilization known for their gifted scientists. Christian leaders took great offense, and for the next 2,000 years, Christians and Muslims crusaded and killed each other in the name of the same God. Humanity was like a defiant child. Christian leaders became very paranoid about Muslims and scientists and any other people that opposed their beliefs. Many opponents were tortured and burnt at the stake, and many libraries were burnt. While the Muslims and Christians were fighting, the Jews were refining their art and science of business that they have been learning for many centuries. They opened money stores called banks. They bought money from the many poor and sold it to the few rich. And many people treated money as if it were a god, believing that money assures security and happiness in our future. The poor masses knew that the richer they were, the more secure they would feel. They knew that money could buy anything they needed. The few rich knew the poor would do anything for money. The rich had more money than they needed or could spend. The more money they had, the more money they wanted, and their only need was to get richer.